Another great day in the world famous Kissimmee Muscle 24-hour gym. Got hamstrings and glutes today. I'm gonna do a fair amount of pressing though too. We'll press through the inner thighs, glutes. Try to get some more width to the quads through the inner thighs. First up, I've got Hamtractors, flex Hamtractor, seated hamstring curl. And this one puts more stress on the hip joint than the knee joint, so that's the thing that I really like about this one. And using moderate weights, 12-15 reps, and that'll be our first exercise to kick off today. So hammer strength hip press has been one of my favorites on this inner thigh glute hamstring day from a pressing movement standpoint. Today, just at 3 plates on each side here. Got a little posterior lateral knee pain, and so I was really hoping to press heavier today than this. And so I'm not going to push this particular movement. I've been in this movement consistently for the last 6 or 8 weeks, and I continue to have that same posterior lateral knee pain. And so I'm going to make a adjustment here. I'm going to move over to this Arsenal Strength vertical leg press. I've got to be real careful on this one not to get in my lower back. My flexibility on it is not super, so I'm not going to do as deep a range of motion, but I think I can get inside the inner thighs and the hamstrings where I want to today instead of on the hip press. Arsenal Strength vertical leg press. It's the original Nebula design. This one, for anyone who has longer legs relative to a shorter torso, this one becomes difficult to come into a full range of motion, but it does hinge a lot at the hips, and so it puts a lot of pressure on inner thighs, glutes, hamstrings, relative to the overall movement. And so we'll give this one a shot today, see if I can get out of that knee that's been bothering me. One of those days where not being able to do a lot of knee flexion makes this an advantageous piece for me. This is actually feeling really good. This is an incident where I made the switch from the hammer strength hip press over to the Arsenal strength vertical leg press, the old Nebula piece. Trying to hit more inner thighs, glutes, hamstrings. This one I have even less knee flexion than the hip press, and so I felt like it would target the inner thighs very well, and it didn't disappoint. And this is one of those times where having the right equipment, more importantly, the right variety of equipment, allows you to make an adjustment on the fly. I had planned on doing that hip press all week long, had it planned out in my mind. I knew what weights I was going to do, what repetition ranges, and the knee just wasn't going to have it today, but I was able to go fairly heavy on this one, get in exactly the same type of workout on a different piece completely that was available to me to substitute. So it's important, it's very important. Was determined today to go a bit heavier. Body's not exactly cooperating. It did manage on the vertical leg press to get to 5 plates on each side, 10 plates total. Let me give this a try, 2 plates and a quarter. Been as high as 3, but I had a little bit of a hamstring pull. Get a few reps out of this. Looks like 7's the number. Dropped it down to just 1 plate now. Oh, next up, belt squat. Got a couple of them here at the World Famous Kissimmee Muscle 24-hour gym. The new one, the Arsenal belt squat. Adjustable foot platforms, so you can get up on your heels. And versus the Rogue. Rogue's a linear, just straight up and down. The weights remain constant over the course of the pull. On the Arsenal piece, you've got a lever, and as you approach full extension of the quads or glutes, you approach the apex of the lever so it gets the heaviest at the top. So difference in the way it pulls, difference in the way it feels, two completely different pieces and also completely complementary. This is the first time I've had a chance to use the Arsenal piece. I'm gonna do a couple sets flat here and then I'm gonna pop the platform up here at the bottom and get a little bit higher on my heels. Light stance, inner thigh, glutes. On my heels on this one, all the way up top. I just finished my last set on the Arsenal Strength belt squat, and being able to elevate the heels on this, two different positions. You'll see one super high, one kind of mid-high, and then flat. So you got 3 adjustments. Makes a meaningful difference in the feel of this. I felt more squeeze through the glutes at the apex of the movement, more stretch in the inner thigh. It allows you to kick your angle backward a bit more inner thigh, more glute squeeze with the heels. And that's the way we always say, more on your toes for quads, more on your heels for glutes. And this one meaningfully different from the Rogue, both complementary to one another, both great pieces to have. And that's why we've got both here at the World Famous Kissimmee Muscle 24-hour gym, about halfway through right now. Friend, the Arsenal Strength adductor. We're gonna do both adductor and abductor today. This is one of the 5 different abductors we have. Wow, 2 are the same because we've got duplicates of the adductor from Arsenal, just so we've got enough for everybody to use. Here in Glute Land in the back room, where the world comes to train. But we're gonna do some sets. Start with 120. We're gonna work our way a little heavier today, try to challenge these adductors a bit more, inner thighs a bit more. And all the way out here in left field, as big a stretch as I can get in here, push myself back, stand up a little bit, force myself down into it, squeeze all the way to the middle. That hip's a little sore. Strength glute bridge up next here in America's destination gym. This one's hard for me. Got the platform flat today. See if that makes a difference. I think this one's been a surprise for almost everybody. It's the old school plate loaded hammer abductor. Straighter leg position, really big stretch in the inner thigh, and just a different angle on that upper glute area, outer glute area than you would find with a bent knee version like we have with the Arsenal Strength or with the Body Masters pieces. Also good pieces, just very different in their mechanics. Setting these hammer abductors with good old-fashioned walking lunges. It's a wrap here in the world famous Kissimmee Muscle 24-hour gym. A lot of volume today again. Gonna burn some calories, break through this 216. Tomorrow's my 6-week out weigh-in day. See if we can make that drop. Been 216.6 5 days in a row now. So lower highs and lower lows. Tomorrow's my lower low day. Check back in tomorrow.